You know that one couple on vacation? The smug ones, who think they own the resort? My wife and I met them on our Caribbean trip. They didn't just take our favorite beach loungers. They laughed about it. But the next morning, I made sure they spent their last day waiting in the sun for nobody. If you've ever had someone steal your seat, your spot, or your peace of mind, this story will hit deep. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for a story where karma comes with some. There are few things in life as peaceful as a Caribbean resort morning. The air smells like salt and coconut oil. The water is so clear it looks fake. And the only real decision you have to make all day is whether to swim, nap, or get another peanut. My wife and I had been there for nearly a week, a quiet, relaxing trip just for the two of us. No kids, no work, emails, no stress. Just the beach, the bar, and a pair of perfect loungers we claimed early on the first day. They weren't just any loungers. They were asterisk. The asterisk loungers, the ones every guest secretly wanted close enough to the bar for a quick refill, but tucked under a palm tree so that when the afternoon heat hit, we still had shade. It became our spot. Our little island within the island. Every morning we'd stroll down, coffee in hand, drop our towels, and melt into the day. For almost a full week, everything was bliss. Until they arrived. A few days before we were set to leave, a new couple showed up. You know, the type mid-30s, expensive sunglasses. The kind of confidence that says, we always get what we want. At first, we didn't think much of them, but after a day or two, my wife noticed something strange. "Honey," she said one afternoon, squinting over the top of her book, "they keep looking at us." Sure enough, every so often, I'd catch them glancing in our direction, whispering to each other. Not in a friendly way. More like they were plotting something. My wife laughed it off at first, but her intuition, always a spot on. On our last full day, we slept in just a bit later than usual. Vacation brain. When we finally headed down to the beach east, coffee in hand, ready for one last perfect day, we stopped dead in our tracks. Our loungers were occupied. Well, not occupied by people. Just stuff. 2 towels, a beach bag, a pair of sandals, and sunglasses spread out like flags claiming territory, but no actual people in sight. I looked around, no one even nearby. We figured maybe they just stepped away for breakfast, but hours went by. 10 a.m. Nothing. 11 a.m. Still gone. Noon they finally show up. And guess who it was? The staring couple. They strolled in like royalty, returning to their throne. And that's when it clicked. They hadn't just randomly taken those loungers. They'd targeted them as. We found another set of loungers further down the beach. Not terrible, but nowhere near as good. More sun, less shade. And the bar was a small hike away. Still, we didn't want to start drama on our last day, so we settled in, ordered drinks, and tried to make the best of it. A couple of hours later, my wife decided to cool off in the water. She's waist deep, looking back toward me, when suddenly she freezes and points subtly behind me. I turn just enough to see the couple walking past, and they're laughing, looking straight at me. Not the kind of laugh you share between friends, but the kind that says, "Yeah, we took your spot. What are you gonna do about it?" My wife came back from the water, dripping and furious. "They did that on purpose," she said. "They've been watching us all week. They've waited for us to sleep in." And honestly, she was right. They wanted to take something that wasn't theirs and make sure we knew it. We didn't confront them. We just exchanged one of those silent couple looks that says, asterisk, oh, they'll get theirs. Asterisk. That night, while packing our bags for the flight home, we started laughing about it. It wasn't anger anymore, it was a mischief. My wife grinned and said, "You know what would be funny? If we made them think someone stole asterisk their asterisk spot." And that's when the idea took shape. The perfect beach revenge. See, at most Caribbean resorts, people claim loungers early by putting down towels or bags. But there's a rule. If your stuff sits unattended too long, staff can clear it away. So the goal wasn't to take anything, it was to waste their time, to give them a taste of their own petty medicine. The next morning, our last one before checkout, we set alarms for just before sunrise. While most guests were still dreaming, we quietly crept down to the beach. The sand was cool under our feet, and the world was still. Just us, the sound of waves, and a few early workers setting up umbrellas. We went straight for their precious lounges, the ones under the shade, closest to the bar. The thrones they had stolen from us. I laid out fresh towels, perfectly folded, like someone had just arrived. My wife placed our leftover suntan lotion and 2 inflatable floats we weren't taking home, just enough to make it look occupied. Then we left. No notes, no confrontations, just our little setup, waiting like a trap. We went to grab breakfast, packed our things, and left for the airport around noon. But the thought of those 2 standing by the bar, glaring at their loungers, wondering who dared to steal them. That thought, delicious. Now, I can't confirm exactly how their day went, but we've imagined it 100 times. Picture this. They strolled down around 10 a.m., like they always do. Confident, smug, ready to sprawl in the shade. And there they are, our old loungers, perfectly taken. Towels, lotion, floats, fresh, untouched. They look around, no one nearby. They ask a staff member if anyone's claimed them. The staff shrugs. So they wait, and wait, and wait some more. By the time the afternoon heat hits, those shady loungers aren't so relaxing anymore. And every time someone walks by, they probably wonder, are those the people who stole our spot? It's poetic, just as quiet, harmless, and infuriatingly effective. They wanted our perfect chairs so badly, and ended up wasting their last day staring at them, empty. Here's the thing about revenge. Like this, it's not about destruction. It's about balance. When someone intentionally disrespects you, it's rarely about what they took. It's about what they're trying to prove. Their laughter wasn't about chairs, it was about control. They wanted to feel superior. But the next morning, we flipped that script. We didn't yell, confront, or stoop to their level. We just turned their own game against them and left them exactly where they wanted to be. Waiting. Powerless. That's the secret to great, petty revenge. You let them trap themselves. As the plane lifted off later that day, my wife and I clinked our plastic cups of ginger ale like champagne glasses. We didn't need to see their reaction. The satisfaction came from knowing it was coming. We learned something simple from that. Trip wherever you go. Some people will always think they're entitled to more. But if you keep your cool, sometimes karma will let you hand them the bill yourself. And honestly, I hope they spent all afternoon sweating in the sun, wondering where their mysterious towel thieves had gone. Because the best revenge stories don't end with shouting. They end with laughter, preferably at 30,000 feet. They laughed when they stole our loungers. The next morning, we covered those same loungers in fresh towels and float sand left for the airport. I like to think they spent their last vacation day waiting for ghosts who never showed up. Petty maybe. Perfect. Absolutely. Sometimes the universe doesn't give you justice. You have to craft it yourself quietly, cleverly, and with a smile. Because nothing burns more than realizing karma-packed sunscreen. If this story made you grin, hit that like button. Tell me in the comments, what is the pettiest thing you've ever done on vacation? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma hits harder than a Caribbean sunburn.